Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I am a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you are absolutely in love with. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to share with you how I shifted communication inside of my salon, how I have essentially eliminated the need to have frequent team meetings, and why I think they're a waste of time, some of the apps and tangible things that you can start doing inside of your business to solidify your communication, to improve your team culture, and to improve the retention of your team, to also improve the productivity of your stylists. Wondering what it's like to work with me? Want to know what I've tried and tested in my salon and how you can create more freedom as a salon owner? I'm excited to offer an exciting way to get my coaching lessons to you in our podcast subscription. The Elevate Insider is an inside look into my coaching calls and includes exclusive content from me. These episodes contain coaching lessons and the exact steps you need to take to grow your salon. Plus, you'll receive special PDFs and supporting documents so that you can easily take action. To learn more and to become an insider, visit opulentbeautypro.com/insider or find an episode of the Elevate Insider on Apple Podcasts. So first and foremost, I want to go into why I decided to really eliminate meetings inside of my salon because I did not find them effective. One of the things that I've really noticed with working with many salon owners is the reason why they have team meetings, and it really is not an effective way to communicate changes and hold your team accountable for the things that they're not doing. A lot of salon owners hold team meetings because they have a very hard time having difficult conversations with their team members. So pulling someone aside and having a one-on-one meeting with the things that they are doing incorrectly or the standards they aren't upholding in their business is so difficult that they decide to group the salon together and then just talk at everybody about the things that aren't getting done in the salon, when in reality, then people think that you're essentially not talking to anyone and your point does not get across the way it needs to actually have effective change in your business. So another thing I've also found about team meetings is a lot of salon owners will do this to kind of build rapport and build trust with their team, when in reality, asking your team to come in on their day off or to spend extra time in the salon when it's not necessary is really just a waste of time for you, and it's a waste of time for your team. If you do want to use team meetings as a way to create connection with your team, then your team meetings or your salon events, which we do on, I would say, a semi-regular basis, should be based off of an activity that is fun and that actually builds team culture and is something that your team enjoys doing, and it not based off of just, repeating policies and telling them all the things that are going wrong in the business or even changes that are happening in the business. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have team meetings when it's absolutely necessary, when serious things need to be communicated to everyone in a group setting. This is far and few between. Most of the time, when I do have things that need to be communicated, when I do have to have conversations with people because standards aren't being upheld, I will just talk directly to the stylists that need to hear it, one-on-one in a private setting. Another thing that I want to add that I do not really care for when it comes to team meetings is some people are afraid to speak up, or some people are heavily influenced by the other people around them, or they don't want to be different than the people that they work with. So sharing an opinion that is not something that's met by the team isn't shared in team meetings. Also, another thing that I find is that team meetings on the stylist end can turn into a bitch fest, and it's just the stylist bitching at the salon owner in order to communicate what isn't working for them because they feel stronger in a group setting, which again isn't healthy for you as an owner. So here are some of the ways that I have shifted my salon communication and how we do things to have effective communication in my salon. Now, I survey my team very often. We will send out an anonymous survey and I will ask for feedback from my team members. And I would say roughly about a year ago, the number one complaint that my team was having was communication. So I knew this was a huge issue that I really needed to dial in on and refine because communication is key to a productive team. When the team feels like they know everything that's going on inside of the business, they feel more confident going into their services. They feel more confident inside of your business. And when they feel like you can have open communication in a one-on-one setting, that also builds trust, which is so important and is a huge aspect of your leadership that you really need in order to retain your team. So first and foremost, I want to talk about what I use to make sure my team stays informed. We use an app and a software called Kajabi. I also use Kajabi for my coaching and my online courses. I really, really love Kajabi. We're going to leave a link in the show notes for a free 30-day trial. It's a little bit more on the pricey side, but you can also use this for your website. You can use this for your email marketing, for your stylist communication. And there's so many really, really cool features that I think are so beneficial for salons. And again, I really love when I'm in the back room and somebody's like, oh, I need to do Pure Luxe treatment. How do I do it? And I'm like, look in your Kajabi app and the instructions are in there. Or if somebody is like, well, how do we get paid? Or how do I do this? And I always redirect them to go to their Kajabi app. You know what else this provides? Consistency in the salon. There's no miscommunication. There's no one person hearing one thing and another person hearing another because every single person is directed to the same application, to the same thing, so that every single person gets the exact same information. And I know that I've talked about this so many times inside of my podcast and just on social media. Consistency is key to a successful business. Again, Starbucks, McDonald's, all of these businesses are successful because they're consistent. So it keeps your team consistent. It also keeps your team accountable because there's no not knowing anything. When somebody gets onboarded, we go over Kajabi, we go over all the things in Kajabi, and it is their responsibility to look at this aspect of our business, to know everything inside of it. Granted, this takes time. I give people grace, but it is a way to hold your team accountable to all of the standards, operations, and everything inside of your business. Because if they do not know how to do something, it's really at the access of their fingertips, and there's no excuse for them not to look in their phone to get the information that they need. So I highly recommend, even if you didn't want to use Kajabi, there are other softwares that you can use like Trello, but having a digital form of communication for all of the things that are important in your business so your team can access it at any time is something that will be a game changer for you as an owner because it will free up time for you because you're not repeating yourself so much and you're not having to give everyone all the information. It's really just the app doing the work for you, but it really is a game changer for you and it really does give you so much more freedom. Another app that we use and that has really shifted my communication is the Band app. I would say and compare Band to like Facebook. So we use Band as our communication platform for our team. So it really has refined our communication and allowed us to really make sure we're dialed in on this area so that we can work efficiently as possible as a salon. Last but not least, another thing that I have done to really dial in on my salon communication is we do monthly one-on-one meetings. And I think that these are so important as a leader to spend time with my team one-on-one, to truly hear them out, to build trust, to take time to invest in them and in their careers and in their goals, and to open up that line of communication where I can really kind of help them see how they're growing in the salon, where they need improvements, and really just connect with them on a regular basis. I do monthly one-on-one meetings in the beginning of the month. I would say they're anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. We go over their KPIs and their touch points. We go over goals. I ask them if they need anything, what they need to refine, areas that can be improved, the things that they're doing really well. I take this time to really show gratitude to my team because I am so grateful for everyone inside of my business. So I will just share with them how grateful I am. And I really make sure to stay consistent with this. I make my manager block this out in my schedule every single month because I know how important this is, and I know how this has truly changed my business and how it affects my team and how it's catapulted their growth, because then they can really see where they're falling short and where they're really, really, really excelling. And we can kind of, shift things that need to be shifted, and then really just talk to them one-on-one in a personal setting, face to face, so they can see my body language. I can see their body language so we can feel each other's energy. I feel like that's so important. So I can really help them grow on a more personal level. I hope today's episode was very beneficial for you. I also want to remind you that if you would like to subscribe to the Elevate Insider to get the supporting PDFs that go along with today's episode and to get the full episode, please be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe through Apple Podcast, or you can click the link below. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevate podcast. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. The Elevate podcast is hosted by me, Patricia Nowakowski, and is produced by Opulent Beauty Pro. To receive my free business guides, visit opulentbeautypro.com/free or click the link in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Pro or at Patricia_Nowakowski_OBS. If you love this show, please consider subscribing, and we will see you next week.